Hi, welcome everyone. Let's play KBC. Yes, you heard me right. I know you all are here to understand the importance of practical training, but before that, let's take up a quick question. Imagine it's the first day of your office, of your first job, your big day, and you walk into an office, you get introduced to your team, and you're seated. You're wondering what to do next. Just then, a person arrives asking who will be ready to do a comparative analysis because it has to be done urgently. Now you have four options in which you can choose from. The first option is you raise your hand and you tell you want to do it, you have done in your practical training before, with some guidance you will be able to do it. Second, you don't do anything, you remain silent. Third, you raise up and tell I'm not sure if I can do it. Fourth, you raise your hand and you tell you want to do it but you need someone to teach. Now which of these sounded the best? I know. You also know that the best option is where you can tell that you have done it before, with some guidance you will be able to do it. But how many of you can really tell that? And the reason why you cannot tell that is because you have not been exposed to the same kind of work before. Now that is what practical training does. It's the first day and the first impression can be something this or even better than this. There are tons of reasons like these why practical trainings are important. Today we will go through a few of them to make you understand why in this scenario, specifically at this generation and the time frame where we are, practical training is so important and so relevant. So let's start with that. The first reason is get a feel of the job before the job. Now why is getting a feel of the job so important? So according to a survey of monster.com, it said that 1 of 3 people are dissatisfied with their jobs. Yes, 1 of 3 people, that's a huge number. Why is the reason, when you go back and see, is mainly because they are not able to work that efficiently and utilize their skills. If you would have an experience of the job before even taking up a job, obviously you will have some kind of an understanding of what the job consists of and you will know whether to take it or not. The problem today is most of us take anything that comes without having any prior experience or what to do. Remember, those fancy titles and the fancy job descriptions may not really be what the way they are written. Actually, it may be something else. So the best way is to know what you will do in a job, and that can be done by practical training. So that is why we tell, get a feel of the job before the job to make your job even better one. The second reason is knowing your basics. Now, most of us would have taught to our niece, our nephew, our younger sibling to write. Now, while teaching to write, one important aspect, if you can recollect, is whether you have taught them how to hold the pen or the pencil. Now, that is one simple example where most of us falter, where we do not teach how to hold a pen or pencil, we simply teach to write. In a similar fashion, there are a lot of corporates where you walk in, they will expect that you know the basics. Even if they do not expect that you know the basics, because of people being so busy, because of the workforce being so busy and occupied, they do not really have the time to handhold you with everything. And in this process, what may happen is some crucial things or crucial basic aspects may get lost. An example of that was like the pencil, where you do not know how to hold the pencil but you are expected to write. So it's up to you to get the basics matched even before you go to a job and then start to work. Because when you do that, you are at a better position than everyone else. Now we all know that there are some basic concepts, because that brings us to the third reason, that is understanding and knowing the basic concepts. Remember the accounting rule, debit what comes in, credit what goes out, or the mathematical problem where you are supposed to tell when two vehicles will be on a similar signal or at the same signal at two different speeds. We all somewhere recollect these kind of problems, but what happens over the course is we leave all of them behind. Now, are they important for your career? Maybe, may not be, depending on which career you choose. In commerce, for example, there is economics, there is business studies, marketing, accounts, maths. There are so many various careers, and each career has its own flavor, its own basic important concepts that are very crucial for survival. Now, if you go to a practical training, these basic concepts can get revitalized. You will know them better. You will have an extra understanding. Not only that, you will also know where to apply what, because that is one aspect which most of them miss. So it is very important for you to have a practical training so that your concepts and the application of concepts are also improved. Then the fourth reason is it is lesser boring. So it is undoubtedly one of the best reasons. The way you study when it is practical, it's very easier and simpler when it comes to theoretical, because theoretical is boring. But what I mean by boring here is theory becomes lesser boring when you know the practicals. Yes, you heard me right. All of us are bored sitting at the class, but have you ever attended a class after doing a practical session? And if you try to do that, you will realize how much better the class becomes. For the simple reason that when you sit back and you tend to listen to the teacher with knowing how the concepts are applied, you will get a better understanding of every word that is taught in class. So try that today. Take up a class, take up a practical training, go back to the class and see, because when you attend the class, things will be a lot more simpler. The fourth reason is get familiar to the tools and tricks of the corporate world. Now, what do you mean by tools and tricks of the corporate world? We all know that certain software like MS Office, that is Excel, Word and PPT are used across all types of jobs. If you attend a practical training, you will get familiar to those softwares. Now, most of you or some of you may ask that I can attend an Excel class, I have done that and therefore I am prepared. Not really. Take this example. You will go and attend an Excel class, and if you are taking up a career, say in data analytics, then you will know Excel, but you will never know which formula to apply when you are really working out on the concepts. Now that is a problem. Similarly, in various industries, there are various softwares. So if you learn the software, you might know the technical side of it, but you will not know how to use that software when you are working. That is why you should take up a practical training in that field, so it is much more easier for you when you are using those softwares. The next one is upgradation of skills. Today there is a fierce battle amongst the professionals in upgrading the skills. Each person is doing something better than the other. Why? The reason is to stay relevant, to stay in the job. Soon that competition will reach the graduates also. Today it is not expected out of you that you know a certain things, but slowly it will be, and you have to be prepared. In fact, to give you a small example, you can take your phone and call all of the people in your class and ask them what they are doing for their career. It will be around 5 to 10% of the students who are really working on their career, who are doing something or the other for making their career better. And if you are not in that range, you are losing out. So it is better that you take up the lead and start taking practical trainings so that you stay more relevant, you upgrade your skills. Now, when it comes to upgradation of skills, most of them do it online. It is an online world, we all understand, and all of you want to take the online trainings. We are not against online training, but online training also has to be practical. As long as any training is practical, it is good for you. If you take up something without it being practical, only theoretical, you are only replicating the class, and that does not do any justice to you. Remember, theory will help. Online training in a theoretical way will help you to reach from 1 to 2. But if you want to reach from 0 to 1, that is the base where you do not know anything, to 1 where you know something, it is very difficult if you directly take up an online class with theory without really understanding the basics. The seventh reason is only theory won't get you anywhere. Now, what do I mean by this? Will you not get a job? Absolutely not. You will get a job. Do I mean that you will not be able to get a job easily? No, you will get a job. Your seniors have got, and the future generations, at least for the next couple of years, will get a job. So that is not a worry. Then what is the worry? The worry is your demand. What is your demand in terms of salary? What is your demand in terms of quicker promotion, in terms of getting good work? How well can you demand depends upon how skilled, qualified and better you are, and that can be done after you take up the practical training. Therefore, it is very important for you to take practical training, because theory will take you to an extent, but after that it won't really help you grow. 8, and the final reason is your confidence. How do you feel after listening to the video? I'm sure if you have been thinking about doing practical training, then you will feel very good. Imagine if this small video can make you feel good, then what will happen if you actually take up a practical training, sitting, doing things, learning it out and going and directly delivering it on your job or wherever you are. It may be a job, it may be on entrepreneurship, it may be something else. Whatever you are doing, practical training will take you and keep you a step ahead. I hope these 8 reasons you found them relevant and important for you as well. Remember, career management is not a small thing. Most of us have been taking our careers lightly. It is time now to stop it and take your career in your own hands. As I always say, that it is up to you whether you want to take something that you get or get something that you want. And to get something that you want, you have to take one step ahead always. If you found this video relevant and helpful, please share it with your friends and also like. Thank you.